Welcome to Neurodifference, the podcast where we explore neurodivergence not as a flaw to fix, but as a difference to understand, value, and support. I'm Rhys Jenkins, and today we're asking, what do we mean by neurodivergent strengths? Before I go into it, a massive shout out to Malona Betts, the writer of today's episode. I hope that I can do it justice. Too often, conversations about neurodivergence focus only on challenges, but many people with autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, OCD, Tourette's, bipolar, and other forms of neurodivergence also carry distinct and often undervalued strengths. Neurodivergence refers to natural differences in how people think, learn, and interact with the world. These differences are often medicalized or pathologized, but they're also the source of unique insight and ability. So a few examples of this, and I will be going more into it in my live Q&A tonight, are as follows. Autistic, those with ADHD and OCD can often display the skill of hyper-focus, the ability to immerse deeply in a task for hours at a time. Autistic and dyslexic people can also display pattern recognition, seeing structures, links, and trends others may miss. Those with bipolar and who are dyslexic can also show big picture thinking, shifting between abstract ideas and wide-angle perspectives. I'd just like to encourage anybody listening to this podcast to follow the Instagram link in the video description for more examples of these skills. As Dr. Devon McEachran, hope I said that right, a clinical neuropsychologist says, the very traits that are liabilities in some situations can be superpowers in others. It's about recognizing the context. Dr. McEachran, if I mispronounced your name, I do apologize. I think your explanation is very well explained if you ever come across this video. Let's be clear, acknowledging strengths doesn't mean ignoring the very real challenges. Many neurodivergent people face daily hurdles navigating systems that weren't designed for them. Examples that relate personally to myself include sensory overwhelm, social misinterpretation anxiety, and burnout from masking. So, for example, social misinterpretation. If I meet somebody for the very first time in a social setting, and I can't necessarily anticipate their social cues or the social rules that they interact with, and this can often lead to burnout on my part. As for sensory overwhelm, I would say that going to the Millennium Stadium to watch a rugby match, while it can be navigated if you've been to my previous talks, it is still tough. A lot of sensory stimulus, smells, bright colors, as well as loud sounds. But often, those who struggle the most are also showing the most strength by adapting in a world that doesn't accommodate difference. These adaptations build resilience, creativity, and insight. What makes these strengths powerful isn't just that they're interesting, it's that they're useful, often in ways that traditional systems overlook. So, for example, a lot of autistic people go into cybersecurity and data science, as we've discussed in a previous podcast. While a lot of ADHD thinkers, oh, that's cool, thrive in creative industries or crisis response roles. ADHD thinkers. Someone patent that. Or better yet, put it on a t-shirt. A 2022 government-backed report from Neurodiversity in the workplace showed that companies with neurodiverse teams were 30% more productive and significantly more innovative. Let's look at some well-known people who have spoken about their neurodivergence and how it shapes their strengths. Daniel Radcliffe, who you may know from The Woman in Black and, of course, Harry Potter. Dyspraxic actor who turned physical challenges into performance discipline. Richard Branson, dyslexic entrepreneur, credited his different thinking for his business success. And as we all know, even though Virgin Media might be might have customer service that people may find difficult, I think we can all agree it is one awesome business empire. Simone Biles, ADHD gymnast with elite level concentration under pressure. Florence Welch. Do apologize, Florence, if you are watching this video and again mispronounced your name. OCD informed creative intensity in her music. Stephen Fry, bipolar, links his emotional depth to his storytelling. Temple Grandin, autistic professor and innovator in humane livestock design. Dr. Maddie Addering-Pocock, British space scientist who's dyslexic, who attributes her success to visual thinking. Octavia E. Butler, dyslexic science fiction author known for her visionary storytelling. Melanie Sykes, autistic broadcaster and advocate for authenticity. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Chris Packham, autistic wildlife presenter with intense focus and memory. No doubt that those would come in useful when producing a great show about gardening. Encourage you to download BBC iPlayer wherever you are, if you can, and watch his great programs. We will look at more examples in tonight's live Q&A session, and I encourage anyone watching this to tune in. So what do we take away from this? Well, I hope you take away the moniker that difference isn't deficit. When we start to value the ways that neurodivergent people think, we unlock a richer, more creative, and more compassionate world. I couldn't agree more with you in this regard, Malona. I believe that the way that we develop the world is by embracing the thinking behind neurodivergent people. But we have to move beyond tokenism for that to be the case. That means changing how we educate, hire, and design systems to make space for different minds to thrive. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Neurodifference. If you're neurodivergent, I hope this reminded you of what you bring to the table. And if you're not, I hope it opened your eyes to the power of thinking differently. And let us know, especially in the comment section, what's one neurodivergent strength you've seen in yourself or someone you know? Tag us, use the hashtag Neurodifference podcast to share. Keep an eye on our socials for more content coming your way. This is Rhys Jenkins signing off. Let's make a positive neurodifference in the world.